Hey there, everyone. You know, when I was younger, I used to actually get annoyed by the sound of classical music after a while. It was because of music instruction when at a young age. All classical material. At the time, sitting down at the material overshadowed by a pacing impatient instructor, staring at the score in wide-eyed panic while being scolded not to look at my hands. There's certain pieces that will still trigger memories of the era. Our family had a blonde Afghan hound dog at the time. Tell you what, he would just howl and howl whenever I practiced piano. It made it very hard to concentrate. But worse still, my mother also practiced often, which was not only torturous for the dog, but anyone home at the time as a result. Moonlight Sonata, for example, third movement, poor dog. We ended up sacrificing the piano for extra space, eventually. That gave me a little freedom to explore guitar. New space, new dog, and few other musical distractions. My mother's musical interests varied over time. I think maybe all of ours do. But I think it was way old school mentality from her upbringing, the whole piano thing. For example, her parents had only come onto national media broadcasts via radio, so my mother grew up in the beginning of the television era. And before that, she used to tell me stories of the first person in the family to get a television set, and how cool everybody thought that was. So really a lot of people had a piano in their house, or an organ. This was a popular means of party entertainment in the social arena of the day. Of course, over time I've gained quite an appreciation of all sorts of music. Almost every style that exists. Almost. One thing in life that we have to be aware of is that each one of us is permitted to have our own proclivities. Each one of you has a uniqueness that's unlike anyone else in the world. You are one of a kind. Now, if you know that, how are you going to apply it? Welcome to another edition of Ye Old Indie Dude. This is episode number 23. My name is Jeff Adams. I'm an independent singer, songwriter, musician, poet, producer, publisher with Bucket Stump Productions. Please check out jeffadams.info for more details and links. All of my social links are over there too. Please be sure to follow on Twitter, Instagram, or the platform of your choosing. I'll put a link in the description. Also, please be sure to subscribe to my humble little channel if you'd be so kind. Thank you so very much. Very much appreciate that, and as well as all of you awesome people that already subscribe. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the Creative Discussion. This is a series where I speak to inspiration and motivation for the creative individual. Creativity is a beautiful aspect of the human condition, even if it can arise from conditions and situations that are quite horrific. Well, that it's possible to share our experiences, unique as they are, through a common medium that speaks to the soul, whether that be by way of drawings or animations, paintings, sculptures, literary work, or music. While we are undeniably individual as beings, we share a lot in common that our individuality would otherwise deny were it not for the arts. The arts allow humanity to come together in abstract ways that prove this commonality of being in timeless examples of creative genius throughout history. If we can learn to develop our own creativity, this sort of expression can not only be extremely cathartic, such expression can allow us to feel more connected and allow us to grow as individuals at the same time. Our uniqueness must not separate us from our connectedness to each other, nor vice versa. We don't want to be so interconnected that we lose any sense of self. There must be a balance between the individual need for self-expression and social demands, each facet being equally important. Speaking of important facets, I was just thinking, just something occurs to me. Be true to yourself. What do I mean by that? Within the unique set of circumstances that allowed you to come into the world were influences and affinities, proclivities, and reactions in circumstances as well as emotions. All this stuff helped shape each of us, our genetic markers, our formative environment, and many other factors. As we grow, we come to terms with ourselves within our circumstances, our talents, our strengths, our weaknesses as individuals. When I say be true to yourself, I mean, be true to that which you have become, based on your own unique set of circumstances, in self-appreciation. Who we are isn't anchored in stone until all is said and done, and then it's still a matter of interpretation. Hopefully we're always learning, progressing, and appreciating throughout our entire lives. Today my thoughts are about Django for some reason. No coincidence that my mind wanders in thought sometimes to the short but impressive life of Django Reinhardt, a Romani Belgian jazz artist from the World War II era. Django was wounded in a fire that left him with only partial use of his main chord-playing hand, his left hand. Obviously, I relate to that guy because of his injuries, are similar to mine. And he was able to relearn guitar better than beforehand. Similarly to Django, after my accident, doctors also thought my guitar playing days were done more than a decade ago. Thankfully, they were wrong. Perhaps Django was similarly moved by his circumstances to not give up, but I was more motivated than ever not to let what seemed like something impossible to stop me from that inner yearning to play guitar and to create. It did take a minute to figure it out. I was fortunate, in a way, to have advocates in my corner at that moment in time. There was a surgeon that was involved in the consultation after the accident, who was of the opinion that I'd be losing two fingers and a thumb after the accident that day. There are other very skilled surgeons who insisted otherwise, and I was slowly able to rebuild functionality with the hand. It took several surgeries. To be honest with you, it was a painful experience in all sorts of ways. The hand I have left, keep on throwing those puns out there, it's taken quite a bit of getting used to over time, but there's a life lesson there, maybe more than one. In my case, it's a bit on the nose, as it were. It's the expression, play the hand you're dealt. It's a poker reference, used as an expression more so in days of old. Nowadays, these old school maxims have been replaced by emojis and abbreviations. Also, it is possible to stay true to yourself, your intentions, and your character, maintaining an open-minded flexibility at the same time. As a matter of fact, it's also kind of important. Not all of our ideas in life are going to be fantastic ideas. Maybe a lot of them will be. It could be the case. More often than not, though, it's a matter of trial and error to discover the best course of action. As you learn and grow, so will your ideas and theoretically a sense of direction. Though many times such considerations are contingent on individual circumstances. Strive to be the protagonist in your own story. Your life is a historical portrait that will be examined by virtue of its influence on others. Believe in yourself. You're probably capable of more than you think. Be persistent. Be kind. And stay humble. These attributes can carry one far. Please be sure to hit the like button if you found anything in this video to be inspirational or educational, entertaining, or just otherwise really nifty. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't had a chance to. On this channel, Jeff Adams Music channel, I also post all sorts of original content frequently, including the weekly series Jeff Adams Indie Live, special presentations, jams, live performances, and of course, this series. Did I say that? Maybe so. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.